Hi, this is Private Investigator William Zarisky, and I have an awesome testimony that I want to share with you. The other day I had a client come in to discuss an infidelity, and he was very bitter, very broken up, still very much in love with his wife. And in this case, it was going to end up in divorce, and there was children involved. And I've seen this many times, but not always do I have the Holy Spirit move me as it did with this gentleman. As I was sitting at my desk and he was telling me the story of how his wife just started, drinking alcohol and going out, not coming home. He knew who she was with. Very heartbroken about this. And like I said, I don't always get the feeling of the Holy Spirit moving over me, but it did. So I took a second and I kind of just sat there and I closed my eyes and I said, Lord, give me guidance. What am I going to tell this guy? And I knew I just couldn't refer him to, oh, you need to go to church and, meet some people. But, the church has been infiltrated with 501c3 corporate status, so I really didn't know what to tell him with that. Well, within a few seconds, the thought came to me. And it said, get the movie Fireproof and give it to him. Which my assistant has a copy of this movie, so I called her. I said, hold on a second. Called her. I said, bring this movie over to me now. Without hesitation, without question, she did. Within 15 minutes, she had dropped it off. Before I can let the man finish, I gave him the copy of the movie. I said, I need you to go home tonight, watch this movie, and call me tomorrow. I made him promise to watch that movie, and he said he would. So I went ahead and took a retainer, told him I'd go ahead with the surveillance, but call me if anything changes. Well, by 7 a.m. the next day, he had called me, and he was so moved by the movie, he said, I want to cancel the surveillance, which I may be shooting myself in the foot, but in this case, I felt the Holy Spirit move over me, and I had to do this. This was a marriage of 27-some years, 30 years, and I wanted to do something. I felt compelled to help this man. And this is something I don't always do. I don't always see. I don't always experience with clients. And as he called me, he said he was so moved by this movie, and the movie's Fireproof, and he was going to be giving a copy of that movie to his wife, and in hopes that they will reconcile their relationship. And they do have children involved. It's a long time to be married. They were high school sweethearts, and under client confidentiality, I can't give any names, but I can tell you the story here. So it's just awesome to see the power of God, and I've seen it a few times. Like I said, not always, but in this case, I was crying tears of joy. This man was very sincere, very heartbroken that his wife had fell into this sin. And I did share with him. I said, it's not going to be an easy thing to get through, but you can. Right now, you have to let go. You have to put it in God's hands, and which is what He's done. And it's awesome. And I prayed right after I hung up the phone that the marriage is able to be reconciled. Just because there was a infidelity or something that went wrong doesn't mean that has to be the end. And this is what I do tell my clients. On the back of my website, you can visit my website. It's willzpi.com. I have a lot of resources for couples that have experienced these problems, and we have to understand that Satan is the one that causes these problems, and if we let just a little sin in, a little leaven spoils the bunch. So we have to understand this. We have to live our lives accordingly. And I'm telling you, it's not easy. I've had sin in my life as well. I'm no different than anyone else. I just happen to see a lot of it in my profession, and I can recognize it real well, and it's probably what God's chosen me to help people. And when the Lord showed me this, and I can't wait to see the outcome of this, but I'm going to refer again, that movie, if you're having relationship problems, get that movie, Fireproof. It's starring Kirk Cameron, and I'm telling you, it is an amazing movie. I've used it, in my work, and it's working. This is actually, honestly, the second time that I have introduced this movie in my field of work with clients. So if you're having problems, again, don't think divorce is your answer. Try to work this out. What God has joined together, let no man take apart. Let no one take apart. So marriage, when you get married, that's a vow you're making to that person forever, for as long as you're alive here on earth, between you and that person and God. And this is what so many people, they think marriage is, expendable or something. No, it's meant to be forever. So, something to consider. And I do have some resources on my website. But again, if you're having problems, look into that movie, Fireproof. Well, until next time, this is Private Investigator William Zarisky. God bless.